Okay, we're back with turn 14-15. Where we're left off here is that the German tanks have moved up. The Italian infantry struggling a little bit here to keep up with the tanks, both from British fire and just the fact that they're much slower than the tanks. The British have kind of started to swing things down to try to block them off. We should get a little bit more fighting going on down here south now that the tanks are engaged. Here it's still going to be a little bit of an issue, debating about what to do about the center, whether to hold them or to kind of bring them in to try to split the Germans. But we'll see how it goes. So let's start off with the initiative. Once again, the Italians and Germans have a base of 4. The British have a base of 3. So both roll a 4. So that means a plus. That'd be 8 to 7, half rounded up. Will give us 1 activation for the Italians and the Germans. So the question is what to do. So much to do, both offensively and defensively for both sides. One of the things I was contemplating is now the scout, this armored car right here has a bead on the Bren carrier over here. Knocking them out would effectively lose the transport for them. But it's a tough shot, even this close. We're 300 meters away, but it's a 0 against a 0 armor. So there's no plus factor. So we'd have to roll a 10 or better to make that hit. May wait for the tanks, given they have a multi-shot capability, and look to something else. We do have over here the leadership of the Italians has been disrupted and demoralized for the advancing troops, so they're kind of stuck at the moment. Need to get them going. But my bigger concern from the German-Italian perspective is the mortars and the artillery pieces back here. The the 25-pounders. Now these guys are already disrupted, so I figure they're probably going to try to recover. So I think I'm going to have these guys bombard again, so they'll activate the fire, both of them, so there'll be 22. Now obviously this is bombardment, they can't see it, so now the question is who is going to spot for them? Well, he can still spot, he can't, he could, and he could. I'm going to have this guy do it because that's one of our leaders and see if he can get points for that. So he should be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, you can see him over there. So they should be able to fire at them. So he's going to spot for him. It's 22 as a base on the bombardment. Then for plus minus factors, they are dug in, but that makes no difference. It is firing at artillery, which is going to be a +1. The only other one that may apply is if they were self-spotting, but that's not the case. And yeah, that's it. So +1 shift. So we started on the 21 column, and we'll shift up to the 30 column. Let's see what we got. Oh, Jesus, 7 on the 30 column. It's the only one. Let me show you there. It's the only one that is a miss. That's painful for the Italians. So that's their first move. So now the British can respond. So the British want to keep up the momentum on them. So in this case, we're going to take the mortars here. We're going to try to go after the Tenente here. spotted by our leader back here. So it's 2 mortars, 8 plus 8, 16. It's not self-spotting, it's not artillery, so it stays in the 16. Here we go. Man, 11. M1 on them, so that's going to be an 8 with a +1. So the leader holds, and he does have a bonus, so he'll help him, so it's 8 with a +1. So they get 7, so they're okay. So dodge a little bit of a bullet right there. Oops, wrong one. Let's get the blue one on there. Okay, on to next will be the Italians again. What do I want to do here? Now, we do have some in range. It'll be 12, 1, 2, 3, so it's -1 for range, -1 for that. Not really that exciting. Not really that exciting. I need some of these infantry support tanks, the E's, 4 E's, to move up, take care of those guys. Yeah, I think we gotta do something about these guys back here. So we'll try to get the captain going, the Capitano. Now he can only activate his hex, not them, because he is disrupted. So they're just them for movement and try to recover. So he's a 7. Gonna need a 6. Ooh, that was not good. Hang on here, folks. Slip of the dice. Always a danger. Always a danger. So he was here, he was here, he was here. And let's see, that's the lieutenant was here. Yes. Okay. And I think he was a 7, sorry. There we go. All right. So again, 7 needs a 6 or less. 11. That's not going to do it, so he stays disrupted. Next unit needs a 7. He's a 7. Needs a 6 or less. He doesn't get it either. Command structure for the Italians is very brittle. Don't necessarily recover if they get hit too quick. All right, back to the British. All right, these guys are going to... Actually, the captain's going to activate, because he can activate everybody here. They'll be moving. They could close in. Wait a minute, I've got to think about this here a second. Danger. All right, actually, maybe just the lieutenant. We'll leave the captain as is. And they'll finish digging in. So that gets them there. Then we will move the heavy machine gun in with them as well. They can't be dug in because they're not there. The Bren carrier is going to take off. He's going to go 2. He could fire at it, but it's a -1, so it's even worse. 4, 6. Back there. Get him out of danger. Wrong one again. There we go. Now the other, he moved in there, so he, actually let's back that up a second. Oh, forgot something. He's going to move, but he moved into here. He can opportunity fire now, which he's going to do. He's going to take his 2 fires out there. So he's an 8. The heavy machine gun's moving, and it's opportunity fire, so it's the 1 shift. I believe that's all we will have. So not adjacent, and it's not a special unit over there. So starts on an 8, starts on the 7 to 10, goes up to the 11 column, and let's do it. Roll rolls an 8. That's a miss. So that's a miss over there. So now this guy will go 2, 4, 6. And that'll be that. Alright, going on to the Italians once again, and Germans. I think the Germans really need to get positioned as much as possible. So they're going to activate the Panzer 3, the Panzer 2 from this hex. The Panzer 2 here will not activate. Both of these will be moving. So he's going to move first. Moves into there. 2 plus 1 for going uphill is 3, 4, 5. And then 2, 3, because that's uphill. 4, 5, 6, 7. And that'll be it. Alright, and now, last turn for the British. Now, the captain could have fired here, but it's very low odds that he would do anything, if at all. So they just held their position for now. I think back up here, we may be time to activate our 25-pounders. First off, both of these will activate, or actually this guy will activate to move, the other one will activate to fire, because he's going to rally, or attempt to rally, with the help of Lieutenant Colonel. So, he's an 8, up 2 for the Colonel, so makes him 10, he's going to need a 9 or less. Gets an 8, he needed the Colonel's help, so he's all better. Colonel's up there. And he gets that. Now he's going to fire. Question is where? He could fire direct at him. Be 13 plus 1. He could fire over here with him spotting. It'd also be a plus 1 for his special spotting skills. Dilemma. I think we got to try to knock him out. So it's direct shot over there. 13, or he's 13, so it winds up on the 12 column, but it's self-spotting. So we'll get a plus 1 column shift to the 16 column. Let's see what we got. Rolls a 4. That's good. That's an M1. That's an M1 on our character Tenente. He's 8 with a plus 1. And he is going to disrupt. That means he's going to lose a leadership point. And he could still help the motorcycle underneath. So the motorcycle is 7, plus 1 is 8, and there's a plus 1 to the dice. 10, so he disrupts as well. Alright, so that'll hold up the motorcycles a little bit. Again, I can't say how well the British are shooting with the 25-pounders and the mortars. That seems to be really holding the Italians and Germans back. Alright, so now it's fog of war time. No fog of war. Italian turn. Tough situation. Tough situation. I think we got to try to get these demoralized guys going. They can self-activate the stack. He could move as long as he's not moving within range of 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he'll move. They'll move. That's it. So he can actually move 1, 2. And nobody's going to shoot at him. He's going to try to recover. He is an 8. He's demoralized, so he loses 1 on his morale. 7. He needs a 6 or less. Ah, you got it. So he's back to disrupted. That's somewhat helpful. And fog of war. Nothing. British. British have fired all their artillery. Now they've got to figure out some sort of defensive to keep the Germans out. There's just no anti-tank guns other than the 25-pounders. I really don't want to move them forward because they're going to get hit with artillery. So, well, it's no different than what they're being hit with, I suppose, already. But to get the infantry taken care of. Alright, so the other thing is this AA gun. How do I get him in action? He must be towed. Maybe that's what I do, is try to get him going. Alright. The both of these units are staff will activate to move. Alright. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 into there. He is going to go into here for 2, 3 going downhill. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that moves him into position to maybe, just maybe, get that AA gun hooked up and going. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just out of range. Alright. I think this grouping needs to activate these tanks. Going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So he's just going to move up to there and stop. And these guys are going to go 2, 4. Like to go into there. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Will be okay. He could move up there as well. Alright, they're going to go. No risk, no reward. He's going to move up to there for 7. Stop. Fortunately, there's no opportunity fire against them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. He could shoot at them. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In range. He's a 4, 4, 0. Nah, it's dangerous. Dangerous. So he'll go 2, 4, 6, 7 to here. Underneath the opportunity firing armored car. That's better. And then the other one here, they will go 2, 4, 6. Stop. Okay, let's do it. Fog of war, nothing. Alright, British. Looking dire as these light tanks are flanking them. Don't have much they can do. Got the captain over here, but he is not going to be able to assault these guys without hurting. think I gotta start digging in. Hate to dig in so close to him, but it is what it is. Fog of war? Nothing. Okay, back to the Italians. Italians. The Capiano, I think, is going to get moving, because he's got to come down here and help these guys get moving. So his group, other than the major, he will activate him to move, and the major will just sit here for the moment. All moving. So they're going to try to recover on their own. 7. So they'll need a 6 or better. Hey, there they go. Back in good shape. Now the captain and his platoon, I'm going to go 1, 2, and with them. So they can help get moving. I know I lose spotting, but I still got him. He can still spot even though it's disrupted. Fog of war. Good. Back to the British. Alright, British need to start doing something here. I think... we need to get some firepower moved down here. I don't have another leader up here. Actually, I think I've got to abandon to the north. It's fully committed here. So this guy jumps out of his foxhole, captain, and his infantry unit. Go 1, 2, 3. We're committing to the south. War. No fog. Next. What's next? That's the question for the Italians. This other Panzer II can activate to move and just move in with them. Now the British could fire here. It's going to be a 12. If we looked at that on our charts, that'd be the 11 column right here. There's no shifts for this because they're not close. The moving doesn't count against tanks. So basically need a 2 or a 12 to get this. And seeing there's nothing more moving across here, it's pretty tough. They still may fire later, but for this they won't do that. So they've moved in there. So now back to the British. Oh, excuse me, back to the Italians. Oh, fog of war. I believe I did it. There we go. No fog. So back to the Italians. I think we got to get the major going. I know I got these guys up here, but I really need the major. Get back in the game. He's a 9. Demoralized though, makes him an 8. So it's going to be a 7 or less. Alright. He's somewhat back in the game. He's just disrupted. That'll be helpful another turn. Hopefully, and he will be back in. Okay. Fog of war? No. Alright, back over to the British. Now, the British right now are in pretty good shape. I really can't fire anything. Question is to advance these units. Do need to have some protection around there. Well, I got him coming up, so we don't have to get too worried about that. I guess here now we'll take our 12 shot over here at this hex. So it's going to be both tanks in there. So as we said before, this is going to be 12. No modifiers, which puts them on the 11 column. You either need a 2 or a 12. Otherwise, it's a miss. It's a 5. It's a miss. Yeah. Took the shot. You got to take the shot at least. And no fog of war. All right. Seeing as there's no other units that are going to be moving into there, go after the tanks. Now back over to the Italians. A couple of things left. I can get these guys. Try to get these guys going, and then these units back here. They fired, so that's good. Let's try to get these guys going. I really need these motorcycling, or scouting for us, I should say. So the leader, he is an 8, needs a 7. Doesn't get it, so he's still disrupted. Let's see about the troops. They get it, but really need the leader. So that takes care of them. And fog of war. No fog. Not much has changed here. We're going to just leave them where they are and pass. And no fog. So now we've got these trucks. I think these trucks need to get moving. We may need these later for help. So all these guys, I know I still got some loaded machine guns on here. This Tenente is going to activate this group right here. And they're going to move. So they'll go 2 plus 2, 4 for uphill, 6, 8. What's this truck? Let's put them up here. And these guys will go, one will go with them. And the other one will go 2, 4, 6, 8. Come over here with a major just in case they need a ride. The last one is our 2, 4, 6, 8. And they'll wind up in the same spot with them. This one's our AT gun. Actually, that should be limbered. There we go. Okay. Get them moving. A little dangerous, but got to keep things going. Alright, nothing has really changed, so the British are still going to pass. Okay. No fog of war. So now we've got the captain. Now he's got his mortars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move. These will activate to move. These will activate to move. They will fire. So these guys will go 2, 4 for uphill, 6, 8. And they'll go 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Actually, one will go into here. Give them some cover. These go 2, 4, 6, and 2, 4, 6. That's fine. Or actually, blah, 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 blah. Let's make them over there. That will be a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, and then he's firing. He's going after the mortars, spotted by this guy. So that's going to be 8, which starts on the 8 column. Firing at mortars, so they're going to go up to 12. They're not self-spotting, so it stays there. 12 column. 6, that's a miss. Yeah, that's a miss. And that will be it for those Italians. No fog of war. British. Now, here's the dilemma. The British, he has been stopped, so they can't move. Motorcycles can't move. Need to hit them hard. But I'd love to drive a wedge right between the infantry and the tanks. Set up some type of attack, but we've got to protect the mortars. So, what do we do? What do we do? Alright, I think we will take the lieutenant. That's our Lieutenant Wright. He's going to take 1 infantry and move forward. 1, 2, yeah, I think that's it for now. I don't want them to be attacked yet. Alright, so that's all for Lieutenant. Alright. Back over to the Italians. Italians don't have much to go on. All these guys here, they can't activate. Problem is, in moving, they can't, because they're not ordered by a leader, they can't move closer to somebody who can attack them. So this guy, 1, 2, 3, they could move up into here, 2, 3, 4, you know, but that's about it. And they'd still be out of command range. And given that our captain and lieutenant are coming back, we'll keep them in range. We got the other captain right here as well. We'll leave them there for now. Same thing with our motorcycles. Actually, our motorcycles, that could be a good activation. We'll activate this motorcycle here. He will move, and he should, because he's going to be out of range and out of sight. That'd be 2, 4. 6, 8. Again, moving along the slope line there. 12, or 10, excuse me. And then 12 to there. So that's going to give us Capiano to get him going later. Fog, nothing. Alright, next. I think the British are going to sit tight. Fog of war. Oh, there's fog of war. That ends it. Okay, so that's all for 14-15. The Germans have crested the hill right here and setting up for an attack, try to damage the British so that they can create a small corridor for the infantry to get moving. And the rest of the British are moving down to try to put some defensive line together. Not sure what's going to look like here in the end, but we'll see. The Italians, kind of a good turn. They got people back in good shape. Still got some work to do rallying. Motorcycle was disappointment. Artillery and mortars were disappointment. Moved up the trucks. Keeping them there. I don't know if they're going to be targeted so many other targets here for the 25 pounders. I'm not sure if they will be a target. But there we'll leave it. So on to turn 1430. And we'll be back with you in a little bit.